Thank you very much for joining me on this Saturday. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. Big picture weather. I want to start with this to kind of set the tone on what I'm watching. And again, we have major issues, of course, across the Caribbean. You see that blob there. I'm going to zoom down into that. We're going to get right into certain islands. Every island matters, big or small. So I'm going to zoom down into that where we have the weather. That's where we go on this channel. It doesn't matter if we have a million people or just a few people. We all matter as far as the weather is concerned for sure. Up here, watching some fronts, not as much the Bahamas and Cuba, but watching over toward Belize as we swing down toward Honduras, things are picking up. So you see some of the moisture here. So I'm going to dive into this, but look at that. You see this huge flare up. We have the rain now. We have some of the slides going on, some of the mudslides, landslides, whatever you want to call them. We've got those going on, and that is going to continue. And then we have this kind of feed coming in across the ABC Islands, watching us across Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. And look at the rain and storm starting to pick up over toward Belize, Hopkins, Ladyville, seeing some of that nearby, Honduras, and then down through Nicaragua. Not as much in our northern tier, but Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Cayman Islands. I'm going to dive into that with some of our models. We are going to see that chance of rain, but let me zoom down here, okay? So here we are, Trinidad and Tobago, and if you have weather where you are, I get there, and that's why I have this channel. It is for safety. So specifically, this is where we have a lot of the weather now. So you see all these colors. These are the clouds, but when you see the orange shading here, northern Venezuela and back through Trinidad and Tobago, those are really tall clouds, which means they have a lot of rain in them, and that's what we're seeing across Trinidad and Tobago right now. So watching out for even more rain, and this pattern is going to continue further. So let me get to the rain totals again very specifically, and then I'll widen out and cover the rest of the Caribbean for us. But you see here, this white shading and purple shading, basically, that's 100 millimeters to 125 millimeters in spots. That's 4 to 5 inches of rain over the next couple days. Not that all of us are going to see it, but the potential is there, even back through northern Venezuela, of that. We've already had the rain, so you throw that on top of it. The rivers at capacity or kind of overflowing at this point in spots, and you add this rain on top of it, that means major issues with flooding. So again, seek higher ground if needed. A life-threatening flood situation going on. I always talk about in the Caribbean. Again, I know in the Caribbean it always gets headlines when it's a hurricane or something like that, but it doesn't need to be a hurricane to cause some big issues down in the tropics. One of the reasons I have this channel. Now, as we go around the horn, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, spotty showers and storms today. Of course, watching this here and then back through here. And look at Belize, some of the rain picking up. This is this afternoon. Belize, Honduras, some of that rain picking up. Spotty in nature, Haiti, Cuba, and the Bahamas. But look at this. This is tomorrow morning. Usually things kind of settle down in the morning hours. Unfortunately, we still have the rain. Watching Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad, and Tobago, even near St. Lucia and Barbados. But I mentioned yesterday, St. Lucia, Barbados, most of it would be just to the south, watching St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada. Now, this is tomorrow afternoon. There's some of the extra rain there, and you can see it here. I'm going to keep an eye on the ABC Islands too, parts of Venezuela, northern Colombia, because some of this rain, this kind of southern train of rain moves in. And then, of course, watching here, all the way down through Panama, increased rain. So we're watching the rain here, spotty in nature across our northern tier. And then let me get you forward and stop the clock here on our Monday afternoon. And here on our Monday, it stays active. This season won't shut off. Of course, we're not seeing hurricanes or anything like that, but look at this just kind of southern path. Now, this time of year, we do get showers and storms across our southern tier, but usually not this many. And then our northern sections, we get back through Cuba, back towards St. Kitts and Nevis. The rain chance is going to pick up some, not like we have in the south, but early next week, I'm going to be keeping an eye on, say, Puerto Rico, St. Croix, St. Martin. We're going to see a higher chance of rain and storms, even Jamaica around Montego Bay. Falmouth will get a better chance of scattered showers and storms, and then still around Belize. Point being, this is Monday, a very active picture, and where we have the flooding, we still have that potential of rain. So I covered some of the rain totals here, again, watching 100 to 125 millimeters of rain, but we could get clipped by some of that. Watching near Belize with some of the rain and storms, get over toward Honduras, Nicaragua, or Colombian islands offshore. Still some healthier totals, kind of in the bad way, that we'll be watching over toward Costa Rica and Panama. And you see, not as much as far as rain is concerned. The Bahamas and Cuba, usually this time of year, we rely on fronts that kind of sweep in from the north for that higher chance of some rain. I do want to mention too, we have a lot of captains, mariners on this channel, and I do appreciate that. I track those things in depth during the heart of the hurricane season, but I never forget about you. Seas are up a little bit. Central Caribbean running about 2 to 3 meters, so we're over 6-7 feet in spots. And of course, as you get off to the east of the islands, and then again, watching out for just the hazardous weather with the rain and storms near Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada. Hurricane season just about done. Thankfully, again, the peak of the season's in September, and then as we work our way into the end of November, that's when the season officially cuts off. But it's been such an unusual season. Remember, in August, we had no named storms, and then we're dealing with major storms as you get into October and November. Plus, we started out this season with some aggressive storms, not organized, but over toward our southern zones. It seems like we're finishing out the same way. So again, watching this flood threat carefully over the next few days. I'll give you those updates as necessary. I'll break in with a new video. I appreciate you sharing this channel for safety's sake. Keep me posted in the comments on what's going on. I use that information to pass along as well in these videos. You are my eyes and ears, and I do appreciate this weather community. I hope you have a good rest of your day.